Hello everyone, my name is Ark and welcome back to another scale figure video. In today's video we're going to be taking a look at the Nikke Goddess of Victory HELM Aquamarine figure, 1/4 scale painted figure by Freeing/B-Style. So this one has also been in my possession for about a month or two now actually. It's been pretty recent. It was before Terrors actually came in and kind of messed everything up. So luckily I didn't have to pay anything extra for this figure, because it was literally like right before it started. So here we have, well, you guys are actually just seeing the thighs, but here is the HELM figure. It is very interesting that this was the first design that they wanted to go with, especially since the last two Nikke figures that we got were like just the regular outfits for Nikke's, like their actual like basic skin outfits, and this one is just the summer version. Very, very interesting. I'm not complaining. It's a very good like design, especially with just what we see right here, of course. But it's interesting that they wanted to do that first instead of just a regular HELM outfit. But yeah, without further ado, let's take this one out. Well, actually, it does have a little bit of damage, so hopefully this figure is not messed up. It has been in my room for a while, like my recording setup for a while, so without further ado, let's take this one out and see how she looks. Alright, so here we have the huge HELM in two different ways, both the actual stature of the figure and also the figure itself. So, she stands at a whopping 16.5 inches all the way to the top of her little ears, or I forgot what the thing is called. But her little attachments on the head are up until 16.5 inches. That is without counting the base. With the base itself, it's about 16.75. So yeah, this figure is phenomenal in terms of just the way that she looks. It's a pretty naked figure, to say the least, because she really just has the transparent coat that is just like a work shirt, like a button-up shirt that she usually wears, that just is wet because she is at the beach, or is supposed to be at the beach. Now, in terms of accuracy, I will say this is a very beautiful figure in terms of just the way that she looks. A lot of times, when it comes to Freeing and just the figures in general, they look phenomenal. They don't miss in terms of the accuracy, and I don't think this one is a miss either. I'm pretty sure this is the third 1/4 scale figure from Freeing that is from Nikke, so they definitely nailed it when it comes to the figure itself. She has her nice bosom and her nice bottom as well, peeking through that shirt, which is honestly such a good trope. I love that trope. It is an amazing trope. But yeah, it's phenomenal. Her legs are also very nicely sculpted. She is a very like well, I wouldn't say she's very balanced in terms of just like leg heavy and also top heavy. But no, she looks phenomenal. She looks very accurate to the game. The different types of plastics that they used for the figure does look really good. And just the paint job itself is phenomenal. The hair instantly pops out, which I think is really good. Honestly, one of the best defining features of the character, or just the characters themselves, is the different color hairs, depending on which one you like the most. There's Rappy, which is just your regular brunette. There's Red Hood, which is your redhead. Like Volume, which has pink hair, and so on and so forth. HELM has her blue hair, yada yada yada. But it's phenomenal. I like it. And even in the characters that have similar hair colors, they're still really good in general. So yeah. Now, in terms of quality, this is a Freeing figure, so it is going to be sturdy. It is going to wobble though because of how big it is. It is something that you cannot like prevent unless you have like a giant just metal rod or any support just extra going down to the bottom of the base. And honestly, that just defeats the whole purpose of just having a nice 1/4 scale sculpted figure. But yeah, in terms of the quality, everything is great. I think the quality of the actual like shirt or overshirt is also really good. I kind of wish it wasn't such a soft plastic, although it is the plastic that they needed to use to make it look very transparent and very kind of like opaque in terms of the actual figure, because there is a full-on body in general. Something I wish they actually would have done is make this an optional thing. Like, they could have made it so you can like unbutton the actual figure, because they have done it where you can attach like different pieces to the figure itself. And this one could have been another one, but it makes sense. She doesn't do that in the actual game itself, so I understand why they didn't. So yeah, again, quality is phenomenal, and she does have a nice just appearance all throughout. Again, the thighs are very meaty. She is not a hollow figure. The paint job on the face is phenomenal, especially with the blush. The hair highlights and also the shading on the hair is perfect. The glossy, sort of like metallic looking gloves are also phenomenal. The different sort of material or the paints that they're using throughout the entirety of the shirt, and even just the gloss on the top of the head, is also great. Now, even the swimsuit itself is glossy and has shading, so they actually painted this and added the like the shirt over it afterwards, which is really good. I like when they actually go above and beyond. Now, the one thing I will say is that the only thing that's kind of lacking on this figure is the shading on the bottom. Like, there is nice shading throughout the legs towards the halfway point, but once you get down to the very bottom of the feet, there is not much to sort of showcase. And I will say it's definitely a bigger issue of just the design itself. There is like these like sandals that she wears that are not necessarily the greatest looking. I think they do break away from just the design as a whole, which is not a fault of the figure. It is just a fault of just the character design in game. That's honestly just another personal issue, really. So yeah. Value. This figure is very expensive. I did end up paying $330, which would have been the exact same. Or I imported this from Hobby Genki, which realistically, honestly, I don't know if that would have been the greatest choice, because it really just ended up coming to the same amount. This figure is very expensive, especially in the US market. It's around $310 or something like that, I believe. But because it is a 1/4 scale freeing figure, do expect this to go on sale pretty often. So there is that. Again, I got this for $330 through Hobby Genki because I was actually able to get this before tariffs and everything. Again, the shipping was just way too much with Hobby Genki. Granted, that was just my own fault. I really wanted to just test out how much the shipping would have been if I got her earlier, because usually with Good Smile, you get her like maybe 3 months afterwards, at most. Sometimes earlier, sometimes later. But, going into my final thoughts, I think this figure is phenomenal. It is not a perfect figure, though. This is actually one of my... this wasn't in my radar when I actually pre-ordered this figure, but I kind of made it a joke to myself that I was going to collect all the 1/4 scale Nikke figures, and so far I have done that. So I will continue to do that, just for the fun of it. But as an overall score, I'm actually going to have to give her an 8 out of 10. Now, they could have made this figure a lot better. I do think that the base being just clear blue is a misstep. They could have made a little bit better, like, just appearance that she is in the water. They could have made it so she's on the sand, all that sort of stuff. They definitely could. They have the resources to do that. And I understand that the base is not necessarily the most appealing thing for a lot of figures. And this one is no, it doesn't have much appeal to it either, which is definitely unfortunate because it's a great looking figure. It is very expensive, which is another thing as to why I'm taking away a point, but yes, the main appeal is on the body itself, but as you go down and down, there's like barely nothing to actually look at. Usually when you have a figure this big, you want everything to stand out. And unfortunately, I think the base is just very lackluster. So, yeah. I think an 8 is definitely sufficient. But besides that, that's pretty much all the time I have for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think about this figure. Do you like it? Do you not like it? I would love to know down in the comments below. But besides that, like and subscribe and all that sort of jazz, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.